Welcome to the Holistic Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Keisha Blair, wife, mother of 3, author of Holistic Wealth, and founder of the Institute on Holistic Wealth. The show will showcase various experts in the key pillars of holistic wealth. Each week, we deliver the best information on how to become holistically wealthy and live your best life. Today, we have a solo episode, so I'm so excited. There's a huge topic that's been in the media. This week, we celebrated Black Women's Equal Pay Day, and so I just want to talk about some issues related to that, especially because there's a new statistic out from Future Forum that says only 3% of Black professionals surveyed want to go back to the office full time. Now, that statistic is just mind-blowing because what that means is that 97% of Black professionals surveyed from Future Forum don't want to go back to the office full time. It's unbelievable. And I'll just share some stats from leanin.org that was shared on Black Women's Equal Pay Day. And these statistics are equally startling. Black women had to work 7 extra months into 2021 to get paid what white men were paid in 2020 alone. More than 4 in 5 Black women are breadwinners for their families, which means their partners and children are dependent on their income. So Black women can't afford to pass up an opportunity even if the pay isn't fair. In other words, they have to just stick with what they can get because they are the breadwinners for their families, the breadwinners for their households, and they have partners and children that are dependent on their income. As a result, Black women feel the effects of being lowballed throughout their careers. Over the course of the average Black woman's career, the lost income adds up to almost $1 million. So over the course, and I'll just repeat that, over the course of the average Black woman's career, the lost income adds up to $1 million. And for many of us who are Black women, we're not surprised. And I know if you're listening in, and you're in this category, you're not surprised. You're thinking, yes, this is exactly it. This is exactly what we've been saying for years. It's come to a head now with COVID-19, where the Black community has been hit especially hard. We've all had relatives die. We've had relatives passed away. And it's unbelievable the sacrifices that the Black community has made, especially in line with recent racial riots after the George Floyd killings and Breonna Taylor and other killings. It's just been unbelievable. So I know that for many of us, we're not surprised about that 3% statistic. And that's a statistic. 3%, only 3% want to return to the office. We're not surprised. And it's part of a revolution happening, a greater revolution called the Great Awakening or the Great Resignation wave. It's part of that. It's a global phenomenon as economies are reopening that saw a record number of people quitting their jobs. And in April 2021, I'll tell you, that exodus amounted to 4 million U.S. workers, or 2.7% of the U.S. workforce. And so this statistic about Black professionals, the 3% statistic, is just part and parcel of that. But of course, for Black professionals, this is magnified, right? Whether you're male or female, this is magnified. And so many Black people suffer from microaggressions and discrimination at work. For most of them, they don't feel like they belong in their workplaces. Many feel like they have to code switch, which is adjusting the way they talk, the things they talk about, the way they behave just to fit in. And so these are some of the reasons, apart from the pay discrimination that I just alluded to, why Black professionals are having a hard time. And so what has happened is that remote work has given Black professionals that environment, a safe environment where they can be themselves, perform their duties the way they want to, and not have to suffer from microaggressions and discrimination. Of course, being micromanaged, as so many Black women and Black men in the workforce are micromanaged simply because of a lack of trust that discrimination that I talked about. So there are just a myriad of issues in the workplace that needs to be addressed by employers before shepherding back everyone en masse to the office. And so it's amazing that on this podcast, I've had the opportunity to interview some amazing women, just amazing women and amazing entrepreneurs who've talked about these issues quite openly. I mean, Selena's episode where she basically said, we're given a seat at the table, but we're not on the menu. That quote from her on the Holistic Wealth podcast was so telling, because even when you're invited to the boardroom or you're invited to a meeting, your suggestions, your recommendations, your word isn't taken seriously. And so she uses the quote that even when we're given a seat at the table, we're not on the menu to describe that phenomenon. And of course, as I said, working from home, remote work has helped Black people, Black women navigate those issues, created a safe space to process their feelings. And so it's worked out well in terms of dealing with that discrimination at work that we spoke about. And so I also had another guest on this podcast, Leslie Ford. She is the founder of Allies at Work and the blog Mom's Hierarchy of Needs. And Leslie conducted a pandemic survey of 2,000 parents. And that survey revealed that the return to work is an emotionally charged, hot issue that many people, many women are trying to navigate. And so we're here on this podcast. We have been discussing so many facets of holistic wealth. One of the things that I've been talking a lot to is aligning your goals with your values. And I think, COVID-19 has allowed so many people to rethink about what's important for them. It's definitely not stress and burnout and discrimination. It's definitely having a lifestyle that empowers you, a lifestyle that is yours, that's authentically you, a lifestyle where you can live and feel like you're thriving and growing. And so in my book, Holistic Wealth, I talked about the triple helix for women, balancing work, family, parenting, and that has also been a simmering hot cauldron issue that has been waiting below the surface to explode. And it's unbelievable how COVID-19 has brought to the fore some of these issues. And it's so unbelievable because in my book, I also speak about the emaciation effect. And that's the years of wear and tear on our bodies, as Black people because of this discrimination that we face. And studies actually show that biologically, Black women are on average 7 years older than white women because of the effects of racism. And for many of you who are aware with the work that we've been doing at the Institute on Holistic Wealth, we launched the Certified Holistic Wealth Consultant Program due to demand from readers of my book, Holistic Wealth, and it's been going amazing. We've incorporated a module on anti-racism in the Certified Holistic Wealth Consultant Program to help empower women because of this phenomenon, because women generally have been getting financial advice, career advice that really hasn't really aligned well with their values and don't speak to the needs, especially of minority women, especially of Black women in the workplace. The fact that Black women, as I stated before, over the course of the average Black woman's career, that lost income adds up to $1 million because of discrimination. And we're trying at the Institute on Holistic Wealth to educate, to go into communities, to help women build their holistic wealth portfolios, help them to navigate transitions in their lives, life transitions, whether it's divorce, widowhood, help them to build up those holistic wealth portfolios so they become more financially resilient, so that they're saving and investing well, so that they're planning for setbacks like this, even in the workplace, so that they're planning for that. And so they can have holistic wealth portfolios that empower them and allow them to thrive. And so recently on Twitter, the issue became a hot topic as Black women came out to discuss their fears around heading back to the office. And it's unbelievable the discussion that ensued there, where Black women basically came out saying, we're not protected. We don't feel our voice is being heard. And so there's no doubt that we're at an inflection point now where during those protests that I mentioned earlier, the promises of anti-racism initiatives in the workplace have largely not panned out, right? One study pointed out that corporations pledged $50 billion to racial equity and have only spent $250 million so far, which is unbelievable because it means that $50 billion that was committed, only $250 million of that has been spent. And I think this is the issue. This is the whole issue that Black people, Black professionals have been pointing to over time, is that these promises have been made and have not been fulfilled. Well, at the Institute on Holistic Wealth, we've created a platform to help people to really outline their goals, their personal mission, build up their holistic wealth portfolios, especially for minority women. And most of you know my story, right? When I was widowed at 31, just 8 weeks after I gave birth. And I talk about that a lot in my interviews on this podcast. And so my mission is to help educate and to help empower as much as I can. And so I just want to offer, a few solutions as we try to navigate this time where employers are calling back people to work, but you're just not ready, or you're thinking, I need to do something different. I need to chart a new pathway forward. I can't go on like this. I have to make this change right now, and time is of the essence. So the first micro step, I remember being on another podcast and the host asking me, what are some of the small micro steps you can take to start making a change of reprioritizing, refocusing? And so one of the things to start with is your personal mission statement. So what's my personal mission? What's the legacy I want to leave when I, leave this earth? What do I want people to remember me for? And so much of our identities are wrapped up in our work or in our careers, but there's so much more to all of us. We're not just the sum total of our work title or job title, and we're not just the sum total of our wealth or net worth. We're so much more. We have so much more to give. So I want to implore you to take a look at your personal mission, outline that personal mission for yourself. Take a look at chapter 3 of Holistic Wealth, where I talk about a personal mission. And in the Holistic Wealth personal workbook, there's also case studies there of people who've outlined their personal mission statements. And we have keywords and a process to walk you through that process so you can get that done in a jiffy. It's available. The book is available everywhere on Amazon online. And so that's the Holistic Wealth 32 Life Lessons, as well as the Holistic Wealth Personal Workbook. And so if you're thinking about starting a business or becoming a freelancer, it's also a good time to do that because of the situation we're in with COVID-19. And there's so many people doing that. And so outlining a personal mission for yourself to start your business is also a good thing to do. So it's amazing that the inaugural episode of the Holistic Wealth podcast was done with Rachel Rogers. She's the CEO of Hello 7 and author of a new book out, We Should All Be Millionaires. And so it's amazing, that statistic I gave earlier in the podcast about Black women and how over the course of their careers, they've lost out to the tune of $1 million. Well, it's the same in terms of trying to launch and scale a business where it's hard to get loans. There's no credit, no funding. And this is part of the reason why there aren't more women millionaires. There aren't more Black millionaires. And so I would encourage you to listen to that podcast episode as well. It's the very first podcast episode with Rachel Rogers. And she talks about her story and how she came from unemployment to then earning her first million. And then even during this pandemic, going from 2 to 5 million. So that's another great resource here because it allows you to think of some strategies in terms of launching and scaling your business and how you can do that. And so some of the other steps that I want to outline are with regards to like money mindset and getting your personal financial identity in order. So I spoke about the quiz on previous episodes of this podcast. I think everyone that I've interviewed has talked about their personal financial identity and has taken the quiz. So I would encourage you to go to instituteonholisticwealth.com, take the quiz, see what your personal financial identity is and weave it into your personal mission statement. Whether you're a risk taker, a minimalist, or a maximalist, or you're an anxious spender, that's something that you need to be aware of, and you need to know how to harness the strengths of your personal financial identity. And whether you're in the midst of a career transition or you're thinking of launching your business, it is also key. And, as I said, so many women have talked about theirs and how they maximize theirs and how they harness the strengths of their personal financial identity in order to attain financial freedom, financial independence, not having to worry about just one salary, to leverage that for having different streams of income. And the great thing about that is it can all be tied to your values. And it can be tied to the type of life you want to live, where you want to live, how you want to live, how you want to work, how many hours you want to work per week. If you're a mom and you have kids and you're juggling with that, then how can I leverage this new knowledge to create that lifestyle that I want to create? And so learning about your personal financial identity is a critical step that also lends itself well to really sorting through your money mindset and really crafting that new money script for yourself. And so if, like many women out there, you grew up with the notion that women aren't good with money, or women aren't good with business, or women aren't good with certain things or with numbers, then this is a good time to really shed those limiting beliefs. In Holistic Wealth, I talk a lot about negative self-talk. It's one of the major chapters in the book. And the book also mentions toxic relationships and getting rid of the naysayers. That's chapter 2. And so that's also good for this exercise as well, because right now we need to clear our heads. We need to have a money mindset that empowers us, that helps us to move forward with those goals. And limiting beliefs will not help at this time. They'll only make the situation worse. So it's crafting a money script. I talk about the law of abundance and the scarcity mindset. And that scarcity mindset can really hold us back when we're trying to move forward and build back better. And so it's really ensuring that we're not embracing a scarcity mindset, but a holistic wealth mindset that empowers us to move forward, motivates us, gets us in line with our real goals and our values and our talents and our skills, because part of this as well, and Rachel spoke about this in her episode, is taking a skills inventory. So take a skills inventory of the skills that you love, your passions, where you think you will excel. And in Holistic Wealth, I also talk about crafting that networking plan. It's a great time to craft that networking plan. And in the book, I outline how you can do that. And it needs to have tangible goals and deadlines. So like for the month of September, let's say for next month coming up, how many people do I want to connect with on LinkedIn? How many people in that chosen field that I want to be in can I interact with, to ask them questions, to ask, how it's been going and what advice they'd have. And so this is a good time to also do that, to craft that networking plan. So there's so much that we can do to start getting the ball rolling. And of course, connect with me. I'm happy to connect with audience members on what's needed, on the core topics that you like going forward. But those are some quick and easy solutions that you can put in practice right now. After you stop listening to this podcast, you can start putting pen to paper on those key items. And if you need to listen to this again and again and again, do it and dissect all the steps that were given and really get that into motion. Get the book, get the workbook. That's the Holistic Wealth 32 Life Lessons book and the Holistic Wealth Personal Workbook. Start hammering away at your personal mission. Go on the Institute on Holistic Wealth website, take that personal financial identity quiz, craft it into your mission statement, your networking plan, your skills inventory. So I'm dropping these words so you remember, again, not to forget, and do that. And it's amazing the steps you can take to start getting your life on the right track. And it's amazing. Just saying it gives me goosebumps because I know this will make all the difference in your life. And I know these are the steps that you need to take right now. There's always hope. So let's do this. Let's connect, keep connecting. And of course, on the Institute on Holistic Wealth website, as I said before, there's so many resources there. You can become a member or become a certified holistic wealth consultant to start helping others. And I will be there I have meetings with my certified holistic wealth consultant sometimes once every 2 weeks, and we hammer through things, and they're designing workshops and they're doing these great things to help other people to achieve holistic wealth. So please email me with your questions at info@KeishaBlair.com. If you are ready and able to participate in the certified holistic wealth consultant, participate in that to help try to build women, to help them build their holistic wealth portfolios, or just become a member. Just become a member of the Institute to try to empower yourself. We have lots of tools and resources that you can have access to help you with career transitions, for entrepreneurs. If you're just trying to sort out your life plans, it's an amazing tool and foundation for that. So I just want to end here, but I just want to remind everyone that we have so many episodes available that are so good with helping with financial resilience, your money mindset, really aligning your goals with your aspirations, whether they're career aspirations or whether you're an entrepreneur, a freelancer, a solopreneur, and you're looking at scaling and growing your business, or you're looking at just starting out. We have some tremendous resources, even with past podcast episodes here with amazing entrepreneurs that have come on and they've laid out in detail how they've scaled their business. They've laid out in detail how they've left the workforce to chart another path that aligns with their values and their goals and allows them to live a holistically wealthy lifestyle. So I'm imploring you as a start, get a copy of the book, Holistic Wealth. We also have a workbook that's amazing for really just, hammering through your life goals, hammering through your personal mission, getting you through that career change if you want that right now. So those 2 books are available, plus the Institute on Holistic Wealth website. Email me if you want to. I'm available at info@KeishaBlair.com. And I love, hearing from listeners. I love hearing from audience members. And if you are a woman in this situation, I want to tell you to keep hope. There's always hope. Keep your hope and motivation alive and keep strong. Keep going, because there's always hope at the end of the horizon. It always gets better. There's always a new day. And I think my story is a testament to that. So don't give up. Keep trying. The best is ahead. So feel free to email me again at info@KeishaBlair.com. I'm on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram at Keisha O'Blair. And my Facebook is Keisha Blair Author. I love to hear from you. I want to hear your views on the situation, what you're doing to transition back to work, or you're transitioning back to a career, or starting your own business, or you're scaling your business now if you're an entrepreneur. I want to hear your views. And of course, we'd also love to get your feedback on what topics and issues, hot topics and issues that you'd like to hear on this podcast. We love, love, love hearing from women, from men all over the world in this podcast. We've grown so much. We have listeners from over 15 different countries all over the world. And if you haven't taken the personal financial identity quiz, please do so. It's on the Institute on Holistic Wealth website. Take the quiz, and there's a course there if you want to delve deeper into your personal financial identity. So I'm going to end here on this note. I loved hearing your views on previous episodes and you sharing with amazing women who need this information. So keep doing so. Love you guys. Stay well. Thank you for joining us this week on Holistic Wealth with Keisha Blair. Make sure to visit our website, KeishaBlair.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, or via RSS, so you will never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. Are you a member of the Institute on Holistic Wealth? If not, what are you waiting for? Go to Institute on Holistic Wealth /memberships to choose your membership plan and join. As a member, you get so many perks. Free worksheets, advice, coaching, and a member's workshop to design an intentionally designed life. You need to figure out your life purpose? Take the Build Your Life Purpose Portfolio online self-paced course. You're struggling with all your money decisions? Take the free financial identities quiz and then take the course. You recently had a breakup, job loss, or experienced the death of a loved one? Take the holistic healing course. You need an overall plan to achieve holistic wealth? We will help you figure out your holistic wealth blueprint. And of course, if you want to start making money by helping others achieve holistic wealth, become a certified holistic wealth consultant. Regardless of what career you've got, the Institute will show you how to increase your income and walk in your purpose. The sooner you join, the sooner you start to achieve a more holistically wealthy lifestyle. And you're going to want to stay for a very long time. So go to Institute on Holistic Wealth /memberships to join. If you haven't read the book yet, pick up a copy of the award-winning, best-selling Holistic Wealth 32 life lessons to help you find purpose, prosperity, and happiness.